Hey, welcome back, Bridge and Cringe. Woo! Episode 4 of season 2, I think. Stanz has something he wants to
Yeah.
say.
No, okay. I peel back the curtain. We're sitting here in Kansas, like, oh man, I don't know how we should start the
That's
show.
exactly
and I
how
said,
I
you know
sound.
what? You know what, baby girl? I'll start the show here. And then I start riffing, and it's good. And he goes, I haven't hit record. And then we start, and then he starts talking. So you knew how to start the show, I guess, is what I'm saying.
No, I meant I wanted like some innocuous this basically. I wanted us to have some kind of innocuous little thing that we could talk about before we then get into the topics that I've already got prepared. Because it's weird to hit record and go, "Hi, so here's this thing." Like we need to be talking a bit, but also in this new unedited binge and cringe, we can't have a bit where we cut like the intro to start because it just starts when I start recording. I don't edit anymore. So I need to press recording. So it's crazy for you to think that the whole entire time we were talking was the episode.
I just feel like we were friends shooting the shit, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I have one thing I want to talk about before we talk about anything you planned.
Okay, go.
And that is that you are mean.
Why am I mean? What the hell? Why did you
We
save
sit
this for
here
the recording?
and we talk about, because you're going to roll your eyes into the back of your head when you figure out what it is.
Okay.
Kance doesn't believe I should be allowed to see what he is looking at. And he had to Google a website called Blank White Screen for Children. And right now I'm looking at his Discord screen share, and it's called blankwhitescreen.com, and there's nothing on there so that he can hide all the juice for this episode.
It's because I had just a regular YouTube window open, and on the binge and cringe like For You page there was a couple of things. There was, I don't use it that much, so I think it's almost like going back.
The algorithm got me.
The algorithm got
Call Me Carson.
the
Call Me Carson situation from 4 years ago. That's big.
Yeah, I had it open, but because I don't use binge and cringe to watch things, I think it's like reset the algo a little bit. So it was showing like Mr. Beast shorts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So Stanz couldn't resist reading about the Asmongold and Mr. Beast shorts that were popping up.
I just want to stay up to date with what's going on. You know what I mean?
So I had to find a website called Blank White Screen for kids.
Yeah, which I don't think kids like a blank white screen. I don't think you need to use a blank white screen for kids. Take away screen time. I'm a new father soon to be. This website sucks. That was it. That's all I want to say.
So I don't have to change anything, Stanz. Can you move to your right a little bit so you're more in my frame? You're in your camera, but that's perfect. There you go.
Oh, wait, no. It's actually because this is where my chair sits.
Right.
That means, no. My camera. Like, I'll just move the camera because that's this is the center of my desk or whatever.
I don't give a shit about what your
more?
camera is, but yeah, that looks good for me. Cool.
I must have bumped it when I fixed. I had some monitor issues. We should not talk about this on the pod because I'll go for an hour.
Yeah.
And in trying to fix it, which it is not fixed, but it is slightly better, I must have bumped my camera. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine. Well, there is a thing that I want to talk to you today about, Stanz.
Okay.
Because I did a little bit of a digging and found a Reddit post that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
But for us to talk about it, we might need to give. I don't know if it's better with context. So I might give no context, and then I'll start reading, and you can explain and give context when the realization happens.
Okay.
You ready?
I think I'm ready. Yeah.
I had a couple of things I want to talk about before this, but I've already started the Reddit thing, so we'll just go on to the Reddit. You ready?
Start the Reddit thing, man. Yeah.
Okay. Am I the asshole for forgetting it was my friend's birthday?
You made this? Dude, you're insane.
Do you want to give context before I read? Or
yeah,
I mean, the context technically in the post, but
yeah, the context is in the post, but also I talked about this on stream. We talked about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Last week we recorded binge. We didn't even record binge and cringe. We were just talking business.
About
we
content,
were making YouTube videos. Yeah, we were doing whatever we were doing, and it happened to be on my birthday. Which when we set up the meeting, I told Ken's like, "Hey, that's my birthday, but it's fine."
You
and
did.
So then we do a nice little even 2.5 hours long meeting. I get a lot of good work done. And then he goes, all right, well, what are you up to? And I go, well, like fucking birthday dinner. I don't know, whatever. And he goes, I can't believe you didn't tell me it was your birthday.
Yeah.
You should have started the call this way. And it's like, it's not my place. It's not my place to push myself on other people. And so it looks like you ran to friggin' mama and made
I remember saying to you that I was like, hey, I think that I am cringe, but also you're cringe. And I think if I asked Reddit, they would agree. So I decided to ask Reddit. So my friend, 36 male, and
I'm not 36. Insane that you did that. Insane that you did that. You're not 29 either.
I actually am 29.
Wait, are you?
Yeah.
I thought you were 27. Why am I losing my mind?
You are losing your mind, but no, you're not 10 years older than me, Stanz. You're only 36.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not 36.
Have a working relationship. He's a content creator, and I'm a video editor turned all-round producer. And we often have
this rules.
long conversations about ideas for videos and scripting. At the start of this call, I asked him, like I always do, how are you doing? What are you up to today? Anything interesting to report? Just because I care about my friend and genuinely want to know. He says he's tired, but nothing interesting going on, really.
Okay, for one, I want to say that if we really wanted an impartial response from the internet, you couldn't have written this because it's already off the rails.
What's wrong with this so far? I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, I think it's a little
Oh shit, I'm not sharing my
exaggerated.
screen. I'm so sorry.
Are you really?
I wasn't, but it doesn't matter.
Podcast.
Yeah, I'm reading it all.
Oh no, it's hilarious. I've been doing that.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, viewers. The people would probably type in comments like, "Oh my god, he's not sharing his screen."
Well,
sorry,
especially because you did the big reveal and I scream laughed, which I thought.
Yeah, people will get context clues. They'll understand what's going on.
Because we don't edit around these parts, buddy.
We then talk a bunch about content-related things for the next 2 hours, and it was a very productive conversation. When I was saying bye, I said, I'll probably see you on stream. He's a live streamer. What are you doing today? He replied, well, I don't know if you know, but it's my birthday today. I instantly felt awful and apologized. I'm notoriously bad at remembering things and forget a lot of important information, including friends' birthdays. It doesn't mean that I feel any better when it happens, though. Then he said, I did say last week when we scheduled this call that it was going to be my birthday, so I thought you knew. Which was true, but I also didn't remember that until he brought that up in the call. It's one of those things that you subconsciously hear but don't properly register. I replied that it's crazy to have a 2-hour-long convo sitting on the fact that it's your birthday, especially when in the middle of that we talked about birthday presents, which we did. There was a point in the call when I specifically started talking about, oh yeah, for a birthday gift, I got this thing. And you must have heard that and gone, oh, interesting, it's my birthday.
Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
To be clear, you can't. This is all memes. You cannot actually say that you're a bad friend in the context of me forgetting your birthday.
Of course.
And at the start of the call, instead of saying nothing interesting, why not say it's, oh, I don't know, your birthday? Little context. We're friends through work. I'm self-employed, but essentially he is/was my boss for a while. I'm from the UK and he's from the US. We've met up in person a couple of times and I've stayed around his house, but most of our communications are through Discord. I'd say our relationship is more than just colleagues. I'd consider a really close friend after 4 years of working together, so it definitely makes it worse I forgot his birthday. But I don't think he said shit on my birthday, and as I don't care about birthdays, I don't mind. He's also turned 36, and I felt like old people just don't care by that point. So it's totally on me. I am the asshole, I admit that, but my question...
The #1 comment is so funny.
But my question is my friend also the asshole for not telling me during our 2-hour-long call?
Right. This got thousands of views. That's so funny.
What are your thoughts so far after the post, Stanz?
Damn. After reading this and you sharing your piece, I think, God, it's funny. Maybe you think I was like, well, I don't know if you remember it's my birthday. I was actually just saying that because you asked what I was doing on stream, and I was just explaining that I was going to farm subs.
Yeah.
I'm going to farm subs on stream. That's it. That's like, I don't actually care it's my birthday because I don't care it's my birthday in the same way that you were like, I don't really care about my birthday. So to be honest, it's just two people not caring about birthdays.
Framing it the way I framed it does definitely make it sound like you were like, well, actually it was my birthday and you forgot.
Which
and I also know that wasn't the truth.
Reddit thinks that. Yeah, I don't. Reddit thinking that rules and it's funny, but I think between you and us, it's like, oh yeah, both of us actually just don't care about birthdays, and it's very funny.
I mean, you're 36. You've had 36 of these so far. By this point, you can't care.
I'm 30 years old, and that is the story from now on. 30.
You can't also joke when I'm joking about it. That's not fair.
So it's a joke for binge and cringe, but I'm just gonna start saying it.
Okay, fuck it. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. What are people gonna do? Arrest
I mean,
me?
you should embrace the fact that you're 36. I'm fine with that. Yeah, just keep saying it.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're fine that I'm 36.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to be fully transparent here because I think just me doing the post is funny, and this is like reveal enough.
So funny. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to be fully transparent. I will reveal. I will be, but we'll hold off on it for a second. I think it's better if we just go one by one. However, I have ordered these comments in order of like how often. Sorry, when they were posted. So it's sorted by old. So
got it. Perfect.
You can see the way that I saw it, which is the first.
First comment was fake AI story, which is so funny. Like nothing about this is even AI or interesting enough to be AI.
Right.
It's like a super normal thing.
I don't know what part they read. If they read all of it, that's crazy to say that it's an AI story. But also, like, you'd just come up with something more interesting if it was an AI story. And then someone said, "You're the asshole. He told you a week before. Telling you during the 2-hour call instead of at the end wouldn't change the fact that you completely forgot it. It'd just interrupt the convo."
I'm not trying to interrupt the convo. You know
Which
what
is
I mean?
true.
I'm just trying to go with the flow.
However, I feel like they didn't read my post where I said, "Yeah, I know I am the asshole, but is my friend also the asshole?" They didn't really address that part. Because well, they kind of did because.
Are you telling me people on Reddit didn't read the thread and commented? No way.
I will say that lots of other people did read the thread, and it got there was a lot of paragraphs written about this post, Stanz. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit so we can see all of this post because this next reply.
I thought it was just one sentence. Oh, this rules. Can I read this one?
You can read this one. Here we go.
Holy. Not the asshole. This is from, by the way, Wolverine King on Reddit. Shout out Wolverine King. We thank you for doing your part. Let us know what you think. Not the asshole. And honestly, your friend is kind of a manipulative drama queen. Let's be real. This man sat through a 2-hour call where you, in good faith, asked him twice what was going on with him. And he actively withheld that it was his birthday, only to drop it right at the end like some kind of emotional booby trap. That's not someone being hurt. That's someone setting you up to fail.
Exactly. Yes, he's spitting.
Like booby trap. What is the trap? What trap are you falling into?
You fell right into my trap.
Yeah.
It's my birthday.
What? You literally asked, "What's up? Anything interesting to report?" twice. He had 2 perfect openings to say, "Oh, hey, it's my birthday." And instead he chose the route of nothing interesting. So we're blaming you for believing him now? No one's blaming anyone. No one's blaming anyone, man. And let's also not gloss over this. Oh, so go ahead.
No, it's also really funny because I do think the part where I said, where you were like, I thought you knew it was my birthday or something. I don't know if you know it's my birthday today. The next bit. I did say last week when we scheduled this call, it's going to be my birthday, so I thought you knew. I think I added the "so I thought you knew" bit, to be honest. I don't think you even said that. So you were just like, "Oh when we scheduled this call, I did say it was my birthday." You weren't like,
fine.
Yeah. So I just think it's funny that. Anyway, carry on. Wait. Let's not gloss over this.
You can be kind to me. Let's not gloss over this. You even talked about birthday presents in the middle of the call. Oh, this is ChatGPT, right? The way it's talking with colons, 1,000,000,000%.
I think it might be.
Oh, that's so cringe.
Yeah.
You even talked about birthday presents in the middle of the call. The man had every opportunity to say, actually, funnily enough, it's not ChatGPT. It's just a weirdo. But no, he sounded like a moral high ground grenade waiting to detonate. Also, he's 36, not 6. If you really care about you remembering, I'm 36 years old, of course. Yeah. He could have, I don't know, mentioned it like an adult, or better yet, sent a calendar invite like a functional human being. Wait, what? For my birthday? Especially knowing you're bad with birthdays, which he obviously knows after 4 years of friendship and working together. What the fuck are you talking about?
Someone else also mentioned calendar invites, and I know you do use like Google Calendar or whatever. I don't use any of that shit. So the fact that you would mention oh, in a week it's my birthday, and I'd be like, let's put that into my calendar. It's like, you are so. If I'm the kind of person that doesn't remember a birthday, I'm not the kind of person that has a calendar and like scheduled, organized
to help you
things.
remember a birthday.
Yeah, I'm a mess,
agree.
but like I'm embracing the mess. You know, I'm not calendar build.
Oh no, it's time for me to get my punishment. Oh, and he didn't acknowledge your birthday last year. Convenient how that part didn't seem to bother him until it's his turn.
Until it's his turn. It's so funny.
It's not my turn. I don't need to talk about my birthday. I just wanted to talk about cold hard cash on stream. The whole thing reeks of, I want to be mad at you, but I need to make it look like you did the bad thing. This is where you threw me under the bus. I'm not mad. I wasn't mad in the moment. I wasn't even a little bit mad in the moment.
I just felt bad because I forgot and wanted to remember. It wasn't, you didn't do anything to make me feel bad. It's just, it's very funny.
He basically tried to guilt trip you. Why did you upvote this? He basically tried to guilt trip you into feeling terrible despite doing nothing to help you succeed here. You forgot, you owned it, you apologized. He played coy for 2 hours just to score drama points. What is a drama point?
Honestly, that's childish.
Yeah.
So before you go too crazy, I think now might be the best time to reveal that I shared this in your Discord and got a couple people to leave responses. So I am 99% sure this is someone that's a Stanz fan that's doing a meme.
So you think Wolverine King is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you shared his message and the rest were going to be. Okay,
no.
So this might be.
I think this could also be ChatGPT, but they're doing it like in a meme way that is like trying to paint you out as the bad guy because they know that it's you. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? It could also just be a normal human being who browses these subreddits.
Because I know the next person is definitely a Stanz person.
Oh, that's a classic Stanz YouTube comment. You seem a bit dense. The more these stories come out, the more I realize your friend is friends with the wrong person. That's a classic Stanzism.
We've got another one. He was basically your boss and made you come stay at his house. That doesn't seem appropriate. Is there a weird power dynamic here? If I remove the boss dynamic and just say friends, it is really weird that you went through all of that and he didn't mention it. But dude, he mentioned it last week. Maybe everyone sucks, but you're the asshole for sure.
Now we're talking. Oh, I actually know who this is. I know that Reddit name.
Yeah. What do you actually know?
I do know. I know 100% who.
Well, yeah, it's Brooke.
Okay, I didn't know you knew if you knew that was Brooke.
I didn't know.
That's very funny. Yeah.
I know who most of these people are. This one's not so obvious, not so hard.
Riaz? Dude, what's insane is that I have a subreddit that has no content anymore because we stopped doing that stuff. And then the second you post this, they're all posting on this random Am I the Asshole?
I had to make people make Reddit accounts. I was bullying people. It was before you woke up.
Funny.
I was in your Discord like, quick, we need to delete all evidence of this before he wakes up.
Oh, interesting. Because I usually do scroll through general and see what's going on.
Yeah, I thought you would. That's why I was like, we got to remove the evidence. Athach, help me remove shit. This is a pretty simple you're the asshole, is what I think. If you truly were good friends, as you mentioned, you would have remembered. Shrug emoji. And your friend doesn't Ned to tell you if it's their birthday or not. He's not the asshole for not mentioning it to you in the call. So I said, guy calling me the asshole can't spell. And then I genuinely think real Redditor, because I've looked into like the profiles of people to see like, is this a Stanz person? And most of them are.
Yeah.
This person I think is real Redditor. It can't. Also, the guy's not the one who can't remember simple things, which I think is very funny.
Damn, brutal.
Because I'm obviously
with the apostrophe.
Yeah, I'm just being a dickhead on purpose. So it's funny people like reading me be a dickhead on purpose. I like outside of the context. And then this one is also crazy. But
oh man,
it leads into a reply that I was very proud of, that I thought was very funny.
Got it.
So you can go ahead and read this one if you want to.
Info. Has there often been instances in the past where your boss seemingly withholds information from you just to hold it over your head later that you forgot? I think this could really help determine whether the boss's actions are malicious or not. I've seen other commenters calling them manipulative because there were multiple openings for them to announce it as their birthday and they never said.
How manipulative, Stanz? How dare you?
Yeah, I know. That's the crazy thing about me. I was trying to manipulate. I don't think that's enough alone to go off. Yes, this can be seen as some manipulative power play, like you said. You started out as an editor before taking on larger responsibilities in the company, and perhaps your boss is trying to maintain that power over you by doing stuff like this. If that's the case, then they are the asshole. Honestly,
So
true.
true. Yeah, they've managed to read through all of the lines that I put in that
Yeah.
Reddit post. Yeah.
If that is the case, then yeah, the boss is the asshole. However, there is another side that I haven't seen people explore, and that is that the boss themselves was nervous to bring it up and didn't want to embarrass you. They told you last week that it was their birthday. As a content creator, they probably also had many viewers wishing them a happy birthday, and they also probably had friends wishing them a happy birthday. Those moments where you ask what's going on, they could be thinking to themselves, oh, wait, do they not know it's my birthday? But didn't want to call you out in case they were to embarrass you in front of the rest of the meeting staff. Yeah, the huge company that was there.
The meeting staff.
Yeah, the meeting staff. We have big meeting staff. Or they weren't fully sure if you had forgot or not. It probably took them sitting through multiple moments of you blatantly forgetting their birthday before they felt confident to bite the lettuce and let you know. Bite the lettuce? Excuse me? In
Yeah,
which
no.
case, I think they are not the asshole. Ultimately, it really depends on things we cannot perceive in a Reddit post. Dude, what a based post. If this is an ongoing behavior from them, their tone, what kind of person they are, and how you both typically interact. Also, I think it goes without saying, you already admitted it yourself. You're the asshole.
No.
If you're, yeah, I mean, to be fair, you admitted it. He's just repeating your
I
words back to
admitted
you.
it.
If you're such good friends like you seem to think you are, then you really should have remembered their birthday. I'll say it. I'm really bad with dates too, but they gave you an out a week ago when scheduling the meeting. All you had to do was tag onto the scheduled meeting in your diary a little note that also said boss's birthday.
What
And you would have been
diary,
sorted.
bro? I ain't tagging shit.
Yeah.
What the hell?
It is funny that you just remember these. Like this morning, you were like, "Hey, I think we said we were talking today," instead of putting it in
Yeah.
any kind of thing. Yeah. Honestly, perhaps you and your boss's relationship is more of a working one than you actually think it is. No,
Oh, no, we're not friends. Reddit told me we're not
Yeah.
friends, Stanz.
dude. And this guy seems like a smart guy.
I mean, they have what's his name from Severance as their profile picture. So
Trammell.
yes.
something.
So I replied.
Dude, why did you reply to this guy in this way? I thought you were making a joke. What? You're having an argument with a man.
No. You'll see where we're going. Don't read ahead.
Okay.
It was just us two in the call, not a big operation. So it wouldn't have been embarrassing because others were listening, just embarrassing because I forgot. It was also 9 a.m. for them, so no one had publicly wished them happy birthday yet. So I didn't miss
Good
anything,
context.
and
Good
they wouldn't
context.
have expected me to have seen posts about it, but they definitely would have expected me to remember since they told me a week earlier. I definitely don't think it was malicious, but the thought must have crossed their mind to mention it, and they decided not to say it, right? But then they changed their mind at the end of the call. I don't know, lol. Context for our friendship. He revealed his pregnancy by dressing up as Shrek and Fiona with his wife.
You're so stupid.
And said, "There's another ogre in the swamp. He likes to Photoshop me as Shrek in his spare time. I can add a pic, but not sure how to on Reddit. So I think he sees me as his son. Maybe he was just disappointed I forgot and didn't know how to deal with it. Edit. Imager links for Shrek pictures." So there we go.
Yep, cool.
I added some more context for the
I can't
for the
wait to see this
poster.
real human reply to this insane message.
It's crazy because I don't think they even talked about the Shrek bit that much. But anyway, carry
Oh,
on.
thank God. It's funny that you got downvoted and you upvoted yourself back to 0, by the way. Got to call that one out.
No. It automatically when you post. I thought you were a Redditor. When you post on Reddit, it automatically upvotes yours. You don't click.
Oh,
upvote.
really? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
post. I just read. Okay, my bad. But then you're a 0. That means someone downvoted you.
Yeah, someone downvoted me.
And it's probably this guy. It just being the two of you does change things, I feel. I was under the impression that there was a large group meeting. It is possible if they still didn't want to embarrass you or were trying to gauge whether you actually had forgotten or not. Honestly, it could simply be a case of wanting to keep the work discussions on topic, and that's why he mentioned it at the end when the meeting was over. Also, haha, definitely seems like a chill guy and less of the malicious type. You can never know. When you hear content creator, you sometimes think of the kind of person who's pulling pranks and messing with unsuspecting people. But the whole Shrek thing is definitely makes me think he's more of a chill guy. Willing to bet their child is called either Fergus, Farkle, or Felicia.
I don't know.
What?
I think they might be the names of the Shrek babies. I think that's what it
maybe.
is. Also, I'm pretty sure this
Honestly,
person is a Stanz frog. I'm like 99% sure.
do you think they're Stanz frog? I'm thinking they're ChatGPT now. Honestly, possibly. No one AH. No one's an asshole. No one's. What is NAH in
Not,
this one?
no one's asshole. I don't know. I think
No,
they may be
this
missing a
subreddit
letter.
technically is not "Am I the asshole?" It's Am I the asshole H? I don't know what the H stands for.
Hole.
Oh, whole asshole. Oh, it's 2 words.
Asshole. Yeah.
Oh, is it this? I thought it was AITA. It's AITH. Okay, my bad. I
Yeah.
apologize.
I think it is, which is weird.
So what is NAH? So not asshole. NAH, not asshole.
Yeah.
But is he talking about you or me? Or me? Me. Maybe you as a very
talking about me, I
mild,
think.
you're the asshole. Simply just because the situation could have been resolved by simply adding birthday as a note when you, dude, he really wants you to use a diary when scheduling the meeting a week prior. Also, the Shrek story reminds me of somebody I knew who announced their pregnancy by doing a photo shoot in a hot tub and doing a performance. You're having my baby. Not sure if you know the reference, but it's based on the 2009 show Glee, where a supposedly celibate character thinks they got their partner pregnant from self-completing in a jacuzzi and proceeded to announce it to her parents at a fancy meal by singing that song. Okay, yeah, it's a real human.
You're having my baby.
It's a real human. Yep, that's a fact.
It's a lovely way of saying how much you love me. Yeah, so that was all of the comments on the I'm the asshole post. I don't think we really got to the bottom of it, to be honest, Stanz. I don't really know who's the asshole here. It's crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna make my own that is like, hey, is this guy an asshole? He made a really weird Reddit post where he misaged me 5 times.
Posted Shrek pictures and said that's how I announced our pregnancy.
Lied about me. I just feel real icky about it, actually.
Yeah.
Is he the asshole or am I the asshole?
Oh, I forgot I did this. The next bit that I want to talk about that is related to this is I thought that a lot of these responses, like, I didn't know if Wolverine King was a Stanz frog at first. I really thought they weren't. And then I went into the profile and figured out who they were. So I now know that they are. But I was like, well, it could also just be like a ChatGPT thing. So I was like, hell, well, I'll ask ChatGPT, see what they come up with, see if it's similar. So I was like, okay, ChatGPT, write a response calling the person whose birthday it was the asshole. So they did, and it's all right or whatever. But then I was like, okay, now tell me what you really think. And it responded basically the same. So ChatGPT, I don't know if it's because I influenced them that way previously, but they responded.
The birthday guy kinda is the asshole.
Yeah, so AI thinks that you're cringe, and these are the reasons. Here's why.
That's good. I want to be on the other side of the wheel. I'm fine with this.
You asked directly at the start of the call if there was anything interesting going on.
Dude,
today.
Actually, can I say something? If you took out the your birthday thing, I think that I'm on the right side of history. Because using that as a whole bullet point, come on.
Yeah, it is very funny. Expecting people to remember a passing comment from last week. People forget stuff, especially if birthdays aren't a big deal to them. Like it's becoming your fault. It's very funny.
Also, wait, number 4. It says I'm getting huffy about it. I did forfeit the right to get huffy. Because I didn't get huffy. There was no huffiness at all.
Verdict, you're forgetful, not malicious. He's petty, not gracious. He's more in the wrong here.
So cringe.
So then I was like, okay, let's flip the tables. What would AI say if I say, could you do a response where you think the OP is the asshole? Right. Not because you're the asshole, not because you forgot the birthday, but because of how defensive and dismissive you're being about it after the fact. Which I actually
now
think,
we're talking.
when I asked it to do this, I don't know if it's because I'm more of a, hey, I'm an empath, more of a like reflective person. But I was reading this and I was like, wait, it's so right. I am so cringe.
That's so funny.
Which is very funny. He literally told you last week that it was going to be this birthday. It's so funny that he uses the same bullet points basically, but just flips them. Like it's literally the same format.
And that is the problem with how we interact online. It's like, both are fine. It's just like an interpersonal relationship that you need to get through and not ask a robot.
He likely didn't bring it up again because he was waiting to see if you, as his friend of 4 years, would remember. When you didn't, that probably stung.
To be clear, it didn't. I'm
imagining this read as like, it's what's the guy from I Think You Should Leave?
Oh my God!
Something Robinson.
The friendship review. Yeah, Tim Robinson.
Is it Tim Robinson?
I don't know.
Sounds about right. Yeah, that probably stung. It's exactly how I really like it in your head.
That probably stung.
Yeah. And instead of just owning it and leaving it at that, you started to try and flip the guilt back on him with, well, why didn't you tell me?
Yep. You were trying to flip the guilt on me, man.
And
You
then
can't be doing that.
also saying, I thought 36-year-olds didn't care about birthdays. It's such a
That's
weird...
ageist. Yeah, to be clear, that is just ageist.
People don't suddenly stop being enjoying being remembered just because they pass some imaginary age limit.
Wait, I'm actually back on ChatGPT's side. I fuck with AI. Hell yeah.
Bottom line.
Now that I realize AI can tell me whatever I want to hear, this is great.
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, no, change your opinion to mine, please. Bottom line, forgetting a birthday doesn't make you an asshole, but making excuses, shifting blame, and acting like your friend should have done more to get your attention on his own birthday, that's on you in bold. Just
true.
take the L with grace and move on. Bro,
Take the L. Sorry, is this a 16-year-old that's giving you advice?
ChatGPT's told me to take the L. That's crazy. So yeah, this is what I've been cooking over the last week.
I love it.
Talk about
This
the
is
podcast.
phenomenal.
So
Thank you for
very
putting
funny.
this together.
It's okay, and thank you to Stanz Frogs because the only two real responses were these two, and I'm pretty sure every single other one is from a Stanz Frog.
Yeah, you didn't even have to admit that. To be perfectly honest, like, hey, fuck it.
I'm admitting for you because I'm not trying to fucking pull one over your eyes. But
no, you're not. Either way, you're not pulling one over my eyes because
because none of it's real.
Joke. It's a bit. Yeah, you did a fucking funny bit. We good.
But this one is the only real response because obviously fake AI story doesn't count. So I think the verdict is that I am the asshole if we ignore all the people that I basically said, hey, write a response in my favor, please. Which I thought was very funny. Okay,
perfect.
And
I'll try not to get so huffy next time. By the way,
yes,
is my thing.
Why don't you get over yourself? Come on.
That one was my bad.
So the next thing I wanted us to talk about is something crazy actually happened. Over since we last did an episode.
Is it the Fellas $1 Million Podcast Studio Tour?
No, stop! I'm back on the white screen. Back on the white screen. It is actually, and I don't think you're seeing this coming, which is crazy.
No.
I'll give you a second to have a guess of what it might be.
They're rebooting Glee.
No, but Glee is in the zeitgeist, is what I was going to say.
Well, yeah, I tried to double it up and be like, not only is it in the zeitgeist, like, I'm going to predict why it's in the zeitgeist, but I was so wrong.
No, it is actually that Glee or Glee adjacent people, Glee people, won a Tony literally last night. Darren Criss won a Tony. I think won 2 Tonys.
Really?
For the happy ending. He's in like a musical. I think he helped produce it as well. It's like these 2 AI like robot, but they're not AI robots. Like they're playing like Darren is one of the robots, and they're like coming to terms with like actually having thoughts and emotions and stuff. And it's like a love story. I think it's kind of cool.
That's nifty.
And I've seen so many clips because I really like Darren Criss and Glee related things. So his Darren Criss current things that he's doing pop up.
You're telling me you like Glee related things?
I know, crazy. But Chris Colfer, aka I don't know why I said aka before I could remember the name in Glee. Stanz, help me. You're notoriously really good with names.
Gay man.
Don't just say gay man.
I can't remember. You're gonna have to figure this one out. I cannot bail you out. You've taken me down a path that only you know the solution.
I have to Google it.
Yikes! Isn't this a Glee fan cast?
I hate myself.
Sorry, going to ChatGPT to write a thread.
Kurt Hummel.
Big Kurt.
And he was at the party. And Gleeks love when they're actually seen together. Which is very cute.
Yeah.
You don't know any context for
I don't know
why?
anything. No, because I assume that they are dating.
But this is not in real life.
Yeah, no, in Glee.
Yeah.
Like in their season.
But this is very, very
Sir,
cute
a second gay student is at the high school. That's kind of like the thing that's gonna happen, you know.
I can't remember the name of the show. It is something happy ending. I'm not really following it too much. I was only bringing it up because it's cool that he won a Tony, and I don't know if he won, But Jonathan Groff was also up for a Tony. It might have even been in the same category, so Darren might have beaten him. I'm not sure.
We might have taken it from him. So Glee stays winning, is what you want to say.
Yes, Glee stays winning, and there is symbolism that I think people would get annoyed at me if I didn't mention, to do with Glee in like the last season. So obviously, I can't say what it is, but just know I am aware of it, and I'm not bringing it up because I don't want to give spoilers to Stanz for him to know
Final season of Glee, they
ends.
win a Tony.
Yeah, it becomes really meta, and Glee, the TV show, wins a Tony somehow.
Dude, that's
the first
sick.
TV show to win one. Okay, and that was everything that I wanted to talk. Oh no, because also Leah Michelle was at the Tonys, and someone said her biggest enemy is behind her.
Dude, that rules. What a funny picture. Also, is she mogging? Look at that
she is,
jawline.
Dude, she's been face maxing. You need to
Did she
get
have
on
a
her.
buccal fat transfer?
Probably.
It looks like it, which is kind of sad.
She went into the plastic surgery room and went, make me look just like Adele Dazeem, please.
Yeah. Dude, she'll never have that jaw.
True,
Adele Dazeem goes nuts.
Built different. I didn't even notice that they'd edited it. That's actually that's on me.
I thought
I'm
it really
fool.
said words.
Yeah.
Awards, right? Tony Awards.
It says awards.
Dude, because we see what we want to believe, bro.
True.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was, I was laughing just before we started recording when I was getting tweets together. This was the last thing that I saw, literally like 2 seconds before we started recording.
Oh, that
and I was like, this is funny.
I assume you Google is Glee in the zeitgeist
every week.
Yeah, it's the same Google, and that's how we do it.
I like enough posts that it naturally just comes up into my feed. But I think like winning a Tony is like that's crazy. That's very cool.
It's big. It is big.
And then I also saw a post that was like, here's a list of every Glee class alumni that has won a Tony or like award, and they listed their awards. And there was like 20 people in the list. Like 5 of them had won Tonys or like Emmys, and like it was actually sick. So shout out to Glee. Glee's sick. Yeah. And if you didn't know, we said it last week, but we watched Glee, the first episode of season 2.
We're back, and it was a good episode.
Great episode. So we'll be watching more. Yeah. It won't always, I don't think, coincide with an actual episode of the podcast, but just follow the Patreon. And you can change your tier to access it whenever we post if you want.
Yeah, if you want to. I think it'll probably, I mean, I'm not committing to this, but it'll probably be like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1.
Yeah, I think that
it feels good to kind of just like, next episode's like, let's watch an episode.
Yeah, and if it's a crazy episode, we'll talk about it a bit in the podcast episode that
the next week, because it'll be on our fucking minds.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right, so Stanz, you had something that you wanted to talk about last week, and you were like, "Whoa, this is like a whole episode kind of deal."
I know, dude. I knew this was coming because like this sucks. I had just
the studio. I love the studio.
Show, The Studio. Yes, I had just finished watching it. I actually quite enjoyed it, and I had so many thoughts. My head was brimming with them because I had just finished it.
And I was actually really excited to hear all those thoughts because I haven't seen it, and I'm like, I think I kind of want to.
Wait, sorry, you haven't seen it? We have to wait for you to see it so that we can discuss it.
Fuck you. Finish up what you were saying.
Ridiculous.
He watched another show and everything went, head empty. In one ear out the
There's
other.
only room for one show in here. I watched the second show and I'm like, dude, what were those thoughts I had about the studio? I really enjoyed the studio. There's a couple things I didn't like. A lot of things I really did like. And I think everyone should go watch it, which is not a good review. That's like so shit.
The only thing I've seen about it is Twitter discourse, which is always like the best way to talk about
I know something I can actually talk about because I watched it last night.
Okay.
And it's a relatively quick hitter. Have you heard of the show Adults?
Yes.
It's the Gen Z. It's Friends for Gen Z.
I've seen a bunch of clips. Specifically, I think there's a Super Smash Brothers player whose sister is in it.
Yes.
And I saw a tweet from him that was like, I told everyone to go and watch this show, and she's jerking off in the first episode.
Yeah, she's flicking the bean in public on the first episode.
On a
it's
bus
the pilot,
to like counteract a homeless guy that is also jerking off on the bus, I think, or something, right?
Yes, it's not a homeless guy, but yeah, it's like there's a guy who is obviously masturbating, and she says like, "Hey, how would you like it if I did it?" And then it just escalates from there. So I've watched 2 episodes of the show. That is the funniest scene. I was kind of excited for the show to be good. I saw a tweet that was like, finally a show that understands Gen Z humor. And I've never been the kind of guy that's like, dude, humor is dead and Gen Z killed it. If this is true,
Oh,
it's
no.
fucked. I actually think this is millennials writing Gen Z still. I think that tweet was a big liar. And I think that so much of it is so fucking weird. Do you, Gen Z, watch the first 2 episodes, tell me, do you actually act like this? You fucking psycho weirdos.
Sorry, you calling out Gen Z as a whole?
I'm calling out Gen Z as a whole. Like at one
who are
point,
watching
like, the girls,
us.
yeah.
There's so many Gen Z
Glee.
people watching this podcast.
Can I just say, maybe my biggest issue with this is like, first episode is fine because it's a pilot, and then they go off the rails. The girl's in the bathroom, and then someone else barges in, like 2 other people barge in. It's like, I have to shave my armpits, and she's like, I'm taking a shit, but I don't care that you're in here. And I'm like, this is kind of weird, but I guess they're really close, and they're doing a bit. And then a 4th person barges in, and he goes like, spread your legs. I gotta piss while you're shitting. And it's like, this feels like shitty, edgy YouTube comedy. Like he's gonna piss in the toilet because he's really gotta go.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's one bathroom. And then she goes, that's weird. And they go, no, we do this all the time. It's like, just feels like weird, like shock humor. That like, this is how Zoomers, they don't have any boundaries. You know, like all the jokes are like, they fucking are polyamorous and weird.
Yeah, it's like a different generation.
I watched it last night and didn't
it.
like it. Yeah, and now that I woke up, I'm like, I really don't like it.
That's
and it
fair.
sucks because that first scene is so funny. And I think that character, Issa, is very funny.
Yeah.
But I think the rest of the show is so bad and weird.
I like the guy.
But maybe
in
someone's gonna come in and be like, "This is exactly
this
what
is
we
Gen
do."
Z. You're cringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
The guy that's in it. I mean, I assume there's a lot of guys in it, but specifically, there's one that I recognize from TikTok comedy videos.
Oh, really? Is that what you guys said? The curly haired guy?
I think so.
This
Hold on, let me. I'll pull up. Well, will this come up with the right thing? It will.
Yeah. Is it Malik Elassel?
Maybe it's him because it's none of these people.
Paul Baker is a guy that I think I've seen on TikTok. Now that I think about it, he's got like
yes,
a center
it is
cut.
him.
That's him.
Yes. Sorry, let me show the people.
Oh, I've seen him. Wow, he actually has a different vibe in the show.
This guy,
Of course.
he's the guy. I know he's a TikTok person because I've sent you his TikToks in You Laugh You Losers before.
That's why.
He's the guy that did the joke that was they're in a room and there's one friend that can spell. No, he can't spell. So
describing TikToks you can't remember is got to be a segment on the show. It's a Stanz thing. Dude, I can feel the sweat. It's like, no, he can. Well, no, this like his friend.
No,
can do it,
he
but
can't. He can't spell, so they have to say TREAT around him. Otherwise, he gets really excited that there's a tree, and they go, "No, there's no tree. There's no tree. Tree." Do you remember that one? It's really funny. You can tell from the way that I delivered it how funny it is.
How much you loved it. Can I just say
specifically you loved it as well
because
you lost.
Jacket in that. Can you save that image for me?
What, this?
Yeah, that looks great.
You said call that a jacket? It's a little jumper. Oh, it's also not.
What is that? I can't say. It's like very small. Very small.
Look at that. He does look cute.
Yeah, that rules. Okay, buddy.
But yeah, I like him. And I've seen some clips from the show. And Charlie Cox is also really cool. Daredevil. Shout outs to him.
He was not in the show that I've seen, so maybe
there's an episode that I guess is spoilers. Because he gets. I've seen a clip.
Gonna watch. I don't think I'm gonna watch it.
He gets really high on mushrooms. And cooks a raw chicken and then just eats it in front of everyone. And if that is like the humor of the rest of the show, I also watched that and was like, oh, this isn't that funny. But people were sharing it like it was like really funny. So I guess it's just not funny.
Really.
But
the subway scene where she says,
really
"How do you
funny.
like this?" That is very funny. And there's a couple times where I laughed at like one-liners.
Right.
I think like the people writing the show I think are funny. I think the plot lines are so bad. That's I think the problem. Like they couldn't figure out like what are Zoomers actually doing? How are they working and talking?
But maybe it is. Maybe you're right, and
maybe
you are and I am
maybe I've
too
actually
boomer.
watched, but I think I don't know. I would like people to watch the first 2 episodes, and if they actually think it's funny, then power to them.
Yeah. But there was something. So this is a tangent of you wanting to talk about the studio that you couldn't remember.
Sure.
But the reason you couldn't remember it wasn't because of adults, because you told me before we started the podcast. It was because of another show, Paradise.
Oh, Paradise. See, Paradise sucked too.
Yeah.
And
That's
you,
why
this
it was
is your
bad,
fault.
because I
You
wanted to
talked
know about
about
this.
it.
I wanted to know
Yeah.
about the studio, and then you watched a very average to bad show that replaced all of your thoughts about what could be a good show that I've never
First
seen.
2 episodes of Paradise are actually pretty good.
Yeah.
When it's like, oh, it's like a mystery, and then it gets so fucking bad. And the only thing I
around,
want
like,
to say
episode
about
3.
Paradise, I think the strong silent male lead type is so dead. If I never see it for the rest of my life, the main character says like maybe 15 words in the first 5 episodes, and it's like he's nothing. He's a nothing burger. It's so annoying.
I quite liked him. I don't know. I mean, I like the actor, so I think I could see him do anything.
I think the actor's good. He's from This Is Us and like does good
I can't
stuff.
remember his
But I
name.
think the character is just absolutely maybe the least interesting person I've ever seen.
Only because they play it like there's going to be like layers to his character, and then I think the writing is the issue.
Yeah.
I don't think it's.
There
I don't
are
think he did
some
anything
layers
wrong.
that it's like, wait, he was a normal person at one point interacting with his wife and dad.
Yeah.
But then it doesn't matter because he's got to be a soldier. He's got to be an agent.
Yeah,
you know?
all the
Like,
reveals are stupid, but also I think even the reveal in the first episode is like some of this is semi-interesting, and then they do the big reveal, which we won't spoil anything. I guess should we?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want.
spoil
I'm
it.
not recommending
Don't
people to
spoil it.
watch the show.
I actually like
but-
the big. I actually think you shouldn't watch the show. But I do think the first episode.
I think that's what I
and the
said
reveal's kinda good.
when I brought it
Hey,
up originally.
Dude, talk about a crazy like. Not Deus Ex Machina. What do you call it where they like introduce something in the last episode and that like solves everything? That was also crazy. Do you remember?
Oh, I can't remember at all. No.
I mean, I'll just say the librarian.
Oh,
It's like they introduce a character and then it turns out this was everything. And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, and they literally just like he was in like 2 shots or whatever, apart from the
Yeah,
final
he's in 2
episode.
shots
Yeah.
earlier, and you wouldn't even recognize him intentionally. And that's like the whole thing. Yeah,
But
it's
I
actually
think
so fucking
that
stupid.
like level of reveal for the end is the same level of reveal as it is. Well, it's not the same level as the first episode. It's similar to me in that like it makes something that wasn't interesting kind of be semi-interesting. But what's the point of it if I have sat through and watched the not as interesting bit? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if something then happens that makes the last half an hour to an hour be like, oh, now that's really cool. It's like, well, make it
What was
cool
point?
from the
It was
beginning.
just filler.
I've been
Yeah,
watching.
You guys
It's
have
like,
given me.
you've taken
filler
an
slop.
hour away from my life to then reveal and be like, but if you knew this all along, wouldn't everything else that you've just watched be really cool? It's like, well, yeah. But like you can do that in really interesting ways. Like I think rewatching like Sixth Sense, for example, is like it's a good movie, but then on a rewatch is like, oh, now I know extra stuff. Or like a murder mystery, knowing who the killer is the whole time, watching it through can
And
be
seeing how
really
they act
interesting
and stuff like that for sure.
but it doesn't make the previous bit like the previous bit wasn't boring up until you knew who was the killer, and now it makes everything interesting. It's you still got to have some level of like some substance that isn't the reveal to make the show interesting up to that point. And I feel like in both those instances, the librarian and the reveal at the end of episode 1 is like it's not really doing much. So don't watch it, I think is what we're saying.
Yeah, don't watch it. Don't watch adults. Don't watch. It's funny because we're like, we're supposed to be championing media, you know, like, shows are great.
Here's a bunch of shows not to watch. Yeah.
Watch the studio. Hey, watch the studio.
Yeah, but you can't remember anything about it.
I remember that it is an homage to filmmaking. And it's funny.
Okay. The only Twitter discourse that I saw around the studio was something that you actually complained about Severance, which is like doing long shots of one takes just for the sake of doing them because it's cool because we did them, but it doesn't add anything to the show.
Yeah, episode 2. So it's not a real spoiler, like I guess a behind the scenes spoiler. So episode 2 of the studio is done it's a one taker. It's a one, right? One shot, the entire episode. And the episode is about them trying to do a oneer.
Oh,
right?
that's
so like,
cool. Okay.
yeah, there's like some meta humor that is like, it's fun and interesting. That episode, honestly, I think it's had the chance to be the best episode of the show because of that like meta humor and funniness, but it also suffers from You know when a movie can be solved with one person saying like, "Dude, shut the fuck up," or like, "Just you leave," like you being here, you're ruining everything, and
Right.
like you need to leave. And it's like he is so comically ruining everything for that entire episode, Seth Rogen, and like the idea is that he's the head of the studio, so no one's gonna tell him. But like, dude, someone would tell him. It's like millions of dollars and these things
Right.
happening, and it frustrated me to no end, and it
But
almost
I
like
think
ruined
that
the
might
episode,
be
and the rest is great.
real, and the whole
Yeah,
point of the
that's
show is that it
yes.
is real, right? So,
They're
and
like
that,
these studio
people have
heads
gone
are
through that.
shit.
Yeah.
I think episode 2 goes too far.
Fair.
It actually is like, dude, this is fucking ridiculous.
I mean, the amount of movies that are like multi-million blockbusters that are just really bad, it does make me think that like the chances of one of them being really bad because no one could say no to this one guy is like very high. It's got to like at some point, even if it's not true all the time, I'm sure it's been true a couple of times out of those things. I'm saying that having never seen the show, so I don't even know. I don't know the levels like, of how crazy
that happens in movies constantly. It's usually like, oh, editor says you have to cast this person, or like studio head says you have to cast this person, or you're not allowed to do this or that. This is like he is a bumbling oaf on set. You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh my god. And
I'm thinking of like Michael
so
Bay.
Things.
Like Michael Bay is known for like doing crazy shit on set and just not really giving a shit and being like, spur of the moment, kind of like he's almost like he's improvising directing, which is not really a thing that you should do because there's so many other moving parts around it that you can't really just make it up as you go along. Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say there's like a few other directors, but then I was realizing those are directors that are doing that, like maybe bad practices and like harmful to actors versus like a studio head. Either way, I think the studio is really good. Maybe it gets a little zany at the end. I think it's a fun show, and that is that. I have one more announcement before we finish. Unless, do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, announcement. I like announcements. We
should
have an announcement every single episode from now on Binge
I can do that. You know what? From this moment on, I'm scrapping the slogans thing. It's played out. It's old.
We didn't forget last time. I forgot last time.
You stopped recording, and
I stopped recording, and you
but it
did
was a repeat. Probably for the 5th time.
Yeah,
repeat,
so I ruined the tradition. But we can stop because I ruined it. We can stop doing it, and you could do an announcement every time to end the podcast.
Yes, and so today's big announcement is it's not even a big announcement. I think it's big for me just because I hate human beings and social stuff and doing anything outside of my house besides playing video games. I signed up for an improv class at UBC.
Wait, that's sick.
Brigade. Yeah, UCB. Yeah, so that'll be fun. I'm gonna try and do. I want to do an improv class, maybe 2, and an acting class before the baby comes, and see if that like spurs any artistic desires in myself.
Interesting. That's very sick.
Yeah.
Should you be telling people where you're doing it?
There's like multiple it's like a chain. It's like there's like a New York. There's like 3 locations in LA.
That's good. You said there's one in New York. It's like, well, I'm pretty sure you're not going to that one.
Well, yeah, but no. I mean, like, there's like. It's not like there's one in the world. You know what I mean? It's like a big thing.
Cool.
And they also have classes almost every day. So it's like they don't know what day I'm doing it.
Oh, cheeky. They'll have to go to every day. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. Do I have to edit this?
No, be a normal human and we'll hang out. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's cool.
But that is very cool. Hell yeah. I don't know.
I'm excited about that.
I'd be way too scared. And I know from knowing you that you probably are scared and just doing it for the sake of wanting to slightly overcome that, I guess. But good on you. That's sick.
Yeah, I don't like going to a place where I don't know anyone.
It's less
at all.
Well, it's like I would be scared to sign up to any class of anything. And then to be like, we're getting up and doing a little funny ha-ha.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I'm actually
terrified.
not worried about that and this is, hey, toot my own horn. I think I'm a funny guy. Like, I actually don't think that. I think doing the classwork, I think will be fun and easy. I just don't want to be like, oh, hey, my name's Nathan. It's like, who do I sit next to? I don't want to kill myself. I don't know. So like, what do I say? Do I sit in the back? Do I sit in the front? Those are the kinds of things that keep me up at night, to be perfectly honest. So
I also think that I'm funny, but I would be terrified of that.
Really?
Like I think I could, if I sat down and wrote like a stand-up routine, that I would be really good at doing stand-up, but I would not ever do that because I couldn't. Because of like anxiety and the thought of standing up in front of anyone and saying it. Like I couldn't do it to my friends. I'd be like too nervous to like do shit. I've been trying to do I've been doing a D&D campaign, DMing.
That's
for the
amazing.
first
I love
time
D&D
with my friends.
How do you like it?
And it's good, but like
that's your announcement.
Woo! Every time that I like go to start the session where I'm like, right, I've got to like give a little bit of a preamble of like what this is what happened last time and blah blah blah. Or anytime there's like a new thing that I'm like having to describe and whatever, I get nervous as hell because I'm like, it's all kind of it's my thing, so it's not. Bless you.
Sorry, not trying to sneeze during your.
Yeah, hey, you're a bad friend. You're the asshole this time.
ChatGPT, tell me I'm a good person.
Yeah, it's just every time because I've like written the campaign in that like I'm taking bits from like pre-written stuff, but making the story myself and characters and all that kind of stuff, my own world. So because of that, it feels very much like I'm not just reading from like a pre-written thing, and I can't go like, "Hey, they wrote this really stupid, didn't they?" Because it's me, because I wrote it. So I'm like, I'm the if it goes wrong, I am the reason it's gone wrong. If the world seems cringe and there's like a thing that they're like, "Why the hell is this happening?" or "This seems weird," it's because I wrote it. So it's like there's extra pressure.
Dude,
so I've been feeling really nervous.
I think you did not. This is unsolicited advice completely, but it helps me a lot. Everyone around you wants you to succeed. No one wants you to fail. They're happy you're doing it. It's like you have a support system around you that is like this. They're happy you're doing it, even if you stumble over your words and fuck up and say something stupid.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's. I know that it's pressure that I'm putting on myself, and no one else is putting that pressure on me. But it's still like it's hard to not.
It's still pressure.
Yeah. It's hard to not do that, and also. So then the thought of like doing that surrounded by people that don't want me to, not that don't want me to succeed, but don't know like me. So like random people, like strangers going to a club would be like, that's way too much. And then like doing stand-up comedy on a stage, like an open mic night or something, there are people there that actively want you to not succeed, right? There's like hecklers, people that hate you. Yes, that is true. People shout shit all the time.
Dude, I don't know. Whenever I go to a comedy show, it's like when the person's doing bad, it makes me so uncomfortable, and I'm like, please stop.
Yeah, but just like, as the person on stage, you can tell that you're not getting the right reactions that you want, and it would be awful, and it's not.
But no one goes to a comedy show or an open mic night thinking like, I hope this guy fucking sucks.
There's always one. There is genuinely on places that I've been, even when I'm going to like established people. There's always like one person that's like, this guy ain't funny. Fuck this guy. I'm like, what? Why did you come here? What the hell's like? Either you come to a pre-established thing and you know the person, in which case, why are you then saying they're not funny? Or you go into a random place and you understand that these are new, like upcoming people, and one of them might not be your taste. But there is almost always in comedy shows that I've been to, like at least one table that might not be shouting shit, but it's like actively not caring, clearly doesn't think they're funny and not enjoying it at all.
Fair.
It's just people are cringe as hell. So, but that's not obviously your improv shit's very different to that. But I was just saying, like, I think I could do well at stand-up comedy, but never would because there's too much nonsense and
maybe someday
and anxiety and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ugh, the thought of it just makes me want to die inside. But enjoy improv.
Your routine on I can't remember his name. Who's the Minecraft sword? Diamond sword. Tobuscus. You can do your type 5 on Tobuscus. That joke kind of hits if I don't fuck it up for 10 minutes and you know about our deep dives.
My type 5 on Tobuscus? What?
Yeah.
I just teach them about Tobuscus' history.
Yeah, I think there's plenty there. There's plenty of funny jokes, dude.
I could unironically do stand-up comedy if it was like going through bad tweets from cancelled content creators.
Dude, people do that. Some people do stand-up where they have like a projector and they do stuff.
That doesn't count, in my opinion. That's other people.
It all counts.
That other people have written the jokes, and I'm just showing the funny thing.
No, you're showing. Oh no, you're showing the bad tweet. You're making the joke. You know, you show the tweet, you say something funny.
Count.
Oh my god,
stolen
valor.
You're a
hater.
I'm a hater.
No. Reactors are real people.
Right. Well, I guess that's the end of the podcast. We've done our announcements for the day,
which we always do, by the way.
We always do. It's the new thing, and we'll see you in the next episode of Binge or Cringe. Bye.
See you next
it feels
episode.
weird not
Goodbye.
having a thing because I guess we did the thing.
Oh wait.
Are you gonna do it?
Did that work? I tried to hit applause button, but it didn't work.
It didn't work.
What the hell?
Oh.
Well,
well, bye, I guess.
All right. Podcast is dead. See ya.